Welcome, welcome to the Mind Fuck Podcast. Yay! Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for taking time out to hang out with me. I am uber grateful you're here. My name is Wanu Aleshe. And sometimes I do go by Amazing Soul. FCK stands for fun, compassion, and kindness. Now, on the Mindfuck podcast, what we essentially talk about is nervous system regulation, how to build trust safely between your brain and your body. Also, remembering parts of ourselves that we may have forgotten along the journey, which would help us connect with our inner child. Now, we do have like a mini tradition that we do on the show where I read a list. The title of the list is called Reminders to Being Human. Now, the intention behind reading that list before the actual episode is to remind myself and also to remind you on your journey. All right. Reminders to being human. Have fun along the journey. Show yourself compassion. Be kind to others. Being complex and being simple can hold true in the same breath. Stay curious. Hold space for pauses. Hold space for not knowing. Never underestimate the power of silence. Nature has a lot of wisdom. Pay attention. There is power in we than I. If nothing else makes sense, come back to love. Pain is our greatest teacher. And the very last one, never underestimate your ripple of existence. Yay! All right, let's get into the fun part of the show. All right, I want you to picture something simple. It's a random Monday morning, nothing special is happening, your alarm goes off maybe a little earlier than your body wants, and you hit snooze once, maybe twice. Eventually, you grab your phone before your feet even touches the ground. You scroll on social media, you respond to a message, maybe an email, right? And before you even realize it, your mind is somewhere else. Your mind is thinking about something that happened from yesterday, maybe some conversation, and you keep playing that moment in your head over and over and over again. And there's this quiet thought underneath all that's happening. And you're telling yourself, why am I doing this again? I want to talk to you about that feeling today on the podcast. The moment where you see it clearly, but only after it has already happened, not while you're in it, not when it actually matters, but later after, when everything has already played out. Because if you're honest, this isn't the first time. You've actually had this realization before. Probably a different situation, but the same feeling, the same sentence playing in your brain saying, damn, I should have known better. Damn, I saw this coming. Damn, why didn't I catch it earlier? And I want to sit with you there just for a second. Not to fix it, not to rush past it, just to actually look at what's happening. Now, let me give you a real life lived example. It's a Monday afternoon and you're in the middle of your day. Nothing dramatic is happening, just going about your daily routine. Maybe you're at work, or maybe you're running errands, trying to get some groceries, or maybe you're trying to go through your to-do list, right? And then something small happens. Someone probably sends you a text message, and the tone of that person feels slightly off. Not wrong, just off, right? Their tone feels a little colder than expected. And your body reacts before your mind or your brain catches up. There's a small tightness in your chest, and your stomach feels slightly uneasy. Your shoulders tense up just a little. But you don't pause. You don't even really notice what's happening in your body. You just move. You react, maybe a little faster than you normally would. Maybe you now start to over explain yourself in the text message. Maybe you try to smooth things over, even though nothing has been actually been said. And in that moment, it feels normal. It feels justified. It feels like you're just being you, right? Then later that day, maybe in the evening, you're sitting with yourself, probably reflecting, your phone is down, the day finally is quiet and calm, and suddenly you see it. I mean, you see what happened earlier on. So painfully clear. And you tell yourself, oh my God, I did it again. I reacted so fast. I did it again. You see your patterns and you see yourself overthinking, overreacting, and trying to control something that didn't even need control. And now, reflecting on yourself, you're frustrated because it's obvious now. So obvious. And the question comes up again in your mind. Why can I only see this after it happens, not while I'm in it? I want to slow this down with you, my friend, because this moment right here, this is where most of us start judging ourselves, telling ourselves, this makes no sense. I understand this already. So why am I still doing this? Why am I reacting this way? Right? But what if, my friend, it actually makes perfect sense that you're reacting that way? Okay, let me give you another example. A probably different one, right? It's later that same day. You're already tired, not exhausted, you're just tired. Your body just feels done with the day, right? And you're sitting on the couch in the living room, maybe watching something on the TV, or you're just scrolling on your phone, right? And your mind drifts back to the day again. I mean, the message where you reacted. Excuse me. And this time, you're more aware. You can actually trace it. You can see how fast it happened. You can see how automatic you reacted to that message. How there wasn't actually a pause in between before you reacted. And this is the part most people miss. You didn't miss the pattern because you're unaware. That's not what happened. You missed the pattern because in that moment, your body was already moving before your thinking mind had a chance to step in. Learn behavior. And I know that can be frustrating to hear because part of you is like, damn, but I know better. Damn, I thought I already worked on this. Or you tell yourself, I've reflected on this so many times. Why am I still reacting this way? All that is so true and valid. You have done all those things. Check, check, check. But like I always say, knowing something logically and catching it in real time, two different things, my friend. Two different things. Now, let me say that again very slowly. The fact that you know a pattern in your life does not mean your body will pause in the moment. That's not how it works. Because in real life moments, they don't come with a warning. Those moments don't come with a warning. They're very subtle and very fast, automatic, and they're quiet, right? And the thing is, it's not, here comes your pattern, get ready. That's not how it works. No, you don't get a notification. It's, you get a tone in a message, you get a look from someone else, you get a delay in response, you get a small shift on energy, and your body reacts immediately. Your body, because it recognizes something familiar. That's what's happening. Not because it's right, not because it's even true, no, but because it's familiar. Familiarity is how your body responds to things in your life. Now, let me bring in something personal here. There was a time in my life where I would feel responsible for how other people felt. And it wasn't loud, it wasn't even obvious. No, it showed up in very small ways. I mean, if someone goes quiet, I would feel like I needed to fix it. If someone's tone slightly changes, I will start to adjust myself. Or if someone doesn't respond the way I expected, I will start to overthink what I did wrong. And in the moment, it felt normal to me back then. It really did. It felt like I was just being considerate. It felt like I was attentive. It felt like I was a caring human being. It did. But later on, when I really started to sit with myself, reflect on my behavior, I could now see it clearly. I'm like, oh, okay. I did that again. Oh, okay. I see the behavior. I see how I was reacting. And I remember feeling so fucking frustrated because I understood what I was doing logically very deeply. I did. I knew where this behavior was coming from. I knew why I was doing it. I really did. So I kept asking myself, why didn't I catch this behavior while it was happening? That was the question I kept asking myself. And the honest answer was this: because my body did not feel safe enough to pause yet. Safety is key on this journey. That's it. There was no internal safety yet in my journey. Not because I was failing, not because I wasn't trying hard enough, but because in those moments I was reacting. My nervous system was still used to moving quickly, reacting quickly, fixing things quickly, automatically. There was no space between my behavior and my reaction. Not at all. And this is the part I want you to really hear, my friend. The patterns in your life don't show up slowly. The patterns in your life show up fast, automatic, quiet. You don't even see it coming. And awareness takes a little more time. So, of course, you're going to see it after you've reacted to that moment. At first, that's actually part of the process. Let me bring you into another everyday, regular moment. Imagine this. It's a morning again, a different week. You're getting ready for your day. Maybe you're brushing your teeth, making your coffee, right? And your mind is already planning the day. Your mind is already running through things, right? And then something small happens again. I mean, you remember you need to do something, right? And immediately your body tightens. Immediately. There's a sense of pressure in your body. It's a sense of urgency, right? And you tell yourself, damn, I need to get this done. I need to get this done. What if I forget? What if I forget? What if I mess up? What if I mess this up? What if I mess this up? And again, you don't pause. Take a breath. You don't pause to actually see what you're doing. You just move on to the next thing. But this time, something slightly different happens. It's not a full stop. No. But there's a tiny moment, just a window, a microsecond where you feel it. You notice what's happening in your body. And you notice the tightness in real time. You notice the rush in your body for a tiny second. And maybe you don't even change your behavior. Maybe you still go do that thing on automatic. Maybe. But now, here's the difference. You noticed it a little earlier. You see, not after everything, not hours later, right? But closer to the moment you reacted to that thing. And this is how it actually starts to shift. Not from telling yourself, I see it after, to I catch it perfectly in real time. No, this is being human. There's no perfection here. But from after to slightly sooner, to even sooner, to eventually, see, the gap starts to close. And even then, not every time, I want to be real with you in this moment. There are still some moments in my life where I only say it after I've reacted. I still have moments like that. Where I sit down at the end of the day and I think to myself, I reacted again. There it is. But the difference now in my life is this. I don't make it mean something about me. I don't judge the behavior. I don't. I don't turn it into, man, I should have done better. No, because judging the behavior is reinforcing the reaction in my body and the pattern, because I understand something I didn't understand before. Your awareness is catching up to your body. It takes time. It really does. And it takes a lot of goddamn patience. Real time. It's not overnight. Mm-mm. And I know that's not always the answer that people want to hear. I know that. I know part of you just wants it to click, like to be done, boom, 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 to get it, you know, not to react, to respond. But I will be honest with you, this isn't something you solve once. No, it's something you start to, first of all, notice awareness in more and more everyday moments of your life. That's kind of how it works. Let me give you another example. Let's just say it's later that week, maybe Thursday, right? You're in a conversation with somebody in person this time, and someone says something. What they say is not harsh. It just kind of landed with you a little off, right? And you feel that tightness again in your chest, that familiar shift. You feel it, right? And your mind starts to move, starts to spiral. And this time, you catch it. Not perfectly, but enough. Just enough. You don't stop the conversation. No. You don't freeze. No. You don't shut down. No. But internally, there's a small recognition that happens in your nervous system. A tiny window. And you tell yourself, oh, this is that feeling. And even if you still respond the same way to that conversation, something is different. You're teaching your body a new lived experience. You're there with the sensation. And that right there, my friend, that right there is the beginning of being with yourself and seeing it in real time. Not because you forced it, no, but because your nervous system is slowly learning. It is okay to pause. So if you're sitting there right now, my friend, and you're thinking to yourself, why do I only see it after? The honest answer is this. The reason why you see it after is because your awareness is still catching up to something that has been running automatically in your life for a long time. That's the reason why. And the fact that you see it after, that's not failure. No, no, no. Far from it. The fact that you see it after, that's the doorway for your body to experience something differently. That's the part most people skip over because eventually after becomes during, but only if you stop fighting the after. So the next time, my friend, you notice a pattern you keep repeating in your life, probably later in the day or at night or even days after, instead of going straight into and telling yourself, damn, why did I catch it? Why did I react that way? I feel so stupid with myself. Instead of saying all that, try something different. Just notice what's happening. Notice your behavior, even as you're reacting. And just tell yourself, oh, there it is. I see it. You're not trying to fix it. You're not rushing. No, you're just recognizing how your body is reacting in real time. Because that's how you start to bring awareness closer and closer, the gap, right? To the moment where it actually happens. And one day, on a random Monday morning, you're going to be in that same situation. You will feel that same feeling. You will see it at the same time. That's the power of awareness. Not because you forced it, but because you give yourself enough space to actually be here now. As always, my friend, excuse me. I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to thank you so much for listening. And I'm sending you so much love from my heart to yours. Thank you.